Hey everyone, I'm back. Sorry it's taken so long. The first year of marriage is a bit difficult. Anyway, when I come back, which is starting now, I just have a couple of reflections over the past year. One is, what it means to be a follower of Christ. A follower, by definition, is someone who does what the leader does, someone who imitates the leader, and does his very best to make the leader proud by looking most like the leader. And I've been encountering a lot of people who say they're followers of Christ, but they don't act like him. And I understand, it's very hard to change who you are. But when you really, truly have Christ living in your heart, Christ will change you. And you will allow that to happen by any means. Granted, there are some people who have weaknesses that other people don't. For example, I did not have much of a hard time waiting for my husband. But for other women, for other men especially, it's very hard to wait for that person that God has set aside for you to marry. And that's not my weakness, but I have a weakness for being totally honest with people. And something that I've learned is that honesty isn't just telling the truth when it's time to tell the truth, but it's also telling the truth even when you don't want to say anything at all. Because when you omit the truth, that also makes you a liar. And so that's the greatest, analogy to what I'm about to say about being a follower of Christ. As a follower of Christ, you have to imitate him. That I've already covered. Ephesians says to therefore be imitators of him. Paul said, be imitators of me as I am an imitator of Christ. And that is one of our greatest challenges. Something also that the Bible says is that if we cause another person to sin, then God would rather have a millstone tied around our neck and we would be dropped in the middle of the ocean to drown. And, that's something really hard to think about. But God is a just God, and he wants all of us to do right and not be hypocrites, not be liars. The Bible also says that he who says he knows me or is a follower but does not do what I say or follow my commands or love me is a liar. So as much as I don't want to say it, it's time for me to just be up and open with what the Bible says about, hypocritical people who say they're Christian but they're really not. They're liars. Because a true follower of Christ will do what Christ says and won't make excuses for why they've sinned. And in addition, they won't let sin happen under their very own noses. In fact, a follower of Christ will do everything in his or her power to prevent sin from happening in his or her life, as well as the lives of others. And if they see sin happening somewhere else, they'll do their best to stand up against this, just like Jesus Christ. That's all I have to say for now, and I'll put up some Bible verses in the description later. Thank you, and God bless.